We have a husband here that spent $110,000 behind the wife's back, and now it's come to light.
Oh.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's getting. We got a juicy one here today. We got a little bit of a juicy one.
Let's get it.
So let's get it. So let's see. What do we got on today? I just found out a letter from my husband, and he secretly got us into $110,000 worth of debt. I'm not sure how that's possible legally. It is all high interest, personal loans, credit card debt, all that fun stuff. How do we go about paying it all off? Well, welcome to the Fi Guys, and here we go. Howdy, Fi Guys. I hope you... Okay, I'm going to restart. Yes, this is, for those that don't know, we get letters from our viewers and from other people, and yeah, just...
We read them live.
We read them live, yeah. Dear Fi Guys, I really hope you can help me. I'm reaching out to share a recent discovery that has left me feeling overwhelmed and uncertain about our financial future. Recently, I've learned that my husband has accumulated a significant amount of debt, $110,000 in personal loans and credit card debt over the past 3 years.
Dun, dun, dun.
Imagine doing that in a meeting.
Oh, man.
Whack! Dude, that'd be crazy. Oh, that's a lot of money. This revelation has forced us to reevaluate our plans, particularly regarding our home and our approach to managing our finance. Mm-hmm. I bet it would.
Yeah,
I bet it would. Initially, we had been considering selling our home and purchasing a new one. However, given the new information, we've decided to put a halt to those plans for the time being. Instead, our primary focus is now devising a strategy to tackle this debt and effectively wipe it out. Okay? One option we are considering is allocating all costs of living, including mortgage, utility, daycare, and other primary essentials, to cover my husband's debt entirely. Damn. I mean, she's actually being pretty nice with it.
Yeah, she's being super nice.
She could kill him in the chat. She could kill him.
You know, one thing I'm thinking, though, is like, none of this came to light, likely, until they were like applying for a home.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Because you're saying like, oh God, okay, keep going.
This is good. It's juicy. It's juicy. Woo. Okay. His paycheck, which is approximately $5,000 a month, would then be delegated to entirely paying down the debt. Okay. So they would use his paycheck specifically for the debt. Mm-hmm. Okay. Additionally, we have around $35,000 in stocks that I am contemplating liquidating to further contribute towards reducing the debt burden. And liquidating is basically just selling off all the debt, or selling off all the stocks, and just holding it in cash or using it in cash. Let's see. Furthermore, my husband has some valuable items, such as watches. Mm-hmm. Those get expensive. Mm-hmm. That could be sold for an approximate $20,000, providing us with an additional source of funds. In total, we estimate that we could pay off around $55,000 of debt relatively quickly using these resources. You know what sucks about that is, I don't know how much you value the watches or the things, but it sucks when you have to trade things that you love to pay off a number. Mm-hmm. It sucks. Mm-hmm. It would, that's rough. I'm going to read the rest of this, and then I want to get into this in detail. Another option we are considering, it will be a bit more drastic one, that is, and it would be moving in with my parents temporarily. This would allow us to redirect both of our paychecks towards paying off my husband's debt and potentially enabling us to clear it within a year. While this option would be undoubtedly involve a significant amount of sacrifices, it could offer us a quicker path to financial peace of mind. True. I also want to mention that I have a student loan debt of around $120,000. You're worse than him. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't say that. With a manageable interest rate of 3.75%. While I've been diligent about making timely payments, congratulations, I've been holding off on the payments completely to focus on building our financial reserves and contributing towards retirement. 3.75, that's pretty
But you guys are making any payments? Holding off on payments completely to focus on building.
3.75 is not bad, though.
I understand that, but you need to still be making minimum payments.
At least minimum.
Oh, God. Okay, keep on.
Okay. At this junction, big junction,
Yep.
T junction, we're feeling overwhelmed and uncertain about the best course of action. Any advice, insights you can offer would be extremely invaluable as we navigate this challenging situation. We're open to exploring all options and are committed to finding a solution that sets us on a path towards financial stability and security. Thank you for taking the time to consider our situation. We look forward to hearing you and are grateful for any guidance you can provide. From Money in a Bind, seeking a solution to unwind, coming to you with marital financial strife. Together, we aim for a better life. I like that.
Me too.
That's nice. So, let me take a turn on this one. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me dial in. How do you spend $110,000 and not have anybody notice?
Yeah. So
I want rhetorical. Just let me get into this. We did a construction project in the backyard. Beautiful. We put up a lattice fence, beautiful vines, lights, everything. It was about $200, maybe $230 at max. I could build a hell of a lot of lattices with $110,000. Now, if you got a new car, that would make sense. At $110,000, that's a very nice car. But how do you not notice it? Where's the money going?
you think you're like strippers and blow? Like,
Dude, I don't know. Or gambling?
Gambling problems. Or he did say he has a lot of watches. Maybe he has other jewelry that she's unaware of. Maybe he's like a big like jewelry guy. Like that.
Maybe
stuff
he's
gets
just bad at buying jewelry. Maybe he bought $110,000 worth of watches and it went down to $20,000. I don't know, but I don't understand how there's $20,000 in watches and $35K in stocks.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that number. I don't think that's maybe $50,000 in stocks and $5K in watches.
Yeah.
I like that. Maybe. I'm not a collector, obviously, so I'm biased, but that's tough.
Yeah, there's a lot of things here. So
Yeah, get into it.
main question is, how do we go off paying the debt? Should we sell the house, or not sell the house? Well, maybe even sell the house. Should we maybe sell the house, sell the watches, sell the stocks, and just pay off all the debt and move in with my parents? That's what it sounds like. The bigger question that I have, though, regardless, before we get into the finances, is how is your relationship with your husband?
Bro, is he alive still?
Yeah.
Did you kill him? Yeah, because $110,000.
Like this is very scary that you guys have much larger like marital issues than just the financial ones right now. He hid $110,000 from you. No, I get that. Over the 3 years, it was what, $35,000 year one, 35 to year two, 35 to year three. That's still a lot of money to be hiding from your partner. And I have to imagine that this did not come out at all until you guys were applying for your new home. And then it came out that like, oh, you guys have $110,000 in debt. And God, would I have loved to be in the room.
No, $200,000.
Huh?
Well, because of her student loans too.
No, she knew. I'm sure he knew about that.
Okay. So it would be a total of 200.
Yeah, but like I'm sure there was like, hey, there's $110,000 of unsecured, uncollateralized debt.
And she's like, oh, that's my student loans. He's like, no, that's not your student loans.
Yep.
It's like,
I'm sure that's what happened.
Yeah, and he's like, maybe we got hacked. Yeah. Did we get hacked? Fingers crossed, we got hacked. It's like, no, honey, no.
This is you.
No, yeah, we gambling, strippers, and below. That's pretty much what happened.
So first off, to our writer, like, you are very understanding of your husband. From what I can see, like even the first part of your question is like, how do we go about paying all this off? And I see a few times in here you put his debt.
Yeah.
But then you put like, but we have to be responsible for it. So like, good on you for like sticking by your man, but like, you guys need to get on the same page because you might be able to help him get out of this, but what if he just put you back in it? Like, you guys need to go like some freaking therapy.
Yeah, something. Because I think that's a even scarier position. It's like you could sell the house, you could move with your parents, you could liquidate your stocks, you could sell your watches, and you could wipe the debt out. Bing, bang, boom, and be back in the same situation 2-3 years later. I mean, that's a scary place to be. I actually think that they could actually come out of this ahead. And now, granted, it's going to take a lot of time and discipline and hard work and strategic action, right? I love the idea of moving back in with your parents. I think that could be something that, I mean, obviously you'd be getting the mortgage. I don't know how that would work. So you'd still have to pay the mortgage if you kept the house, but you could rent out the house. Hopefully you're in an area where rents are higher than mortgages. So you could be getting equity built into the house and you could be getting a check from the renters for the excess after the mortgage. So I like that idea. Also, you'd probably be saving with utilities and daycare, hopefully, being that maybe your parents don't work and they can watch the kid. So daycare, I don't know, 1,000 a month? It's a lot. So we'll say, so right there, you're already up $1,000 at least. And it's nice to be with family sometimes. Sometimes for a certain amount of time, sometimes. And, maybe they can get the house paid off that way. Maybe they can, pivot, and it's like, okay, we got the debt all paid off. We're already saving boatloads of money. We're cooking with gas, Well, let's buy another rental property since we're already geo-arbitraging. We're house hacking.
I think we're getting really far ahead.
We're getting very far ahead of it. But I'm just thinking like, it could be spun. It could be spun. It can always be spun.
This could be a happy thing. But right now we're not in a happy time.
No, but I definitely think like it's a bad situation, but we can make something good out of it.
Okay.
Which me, I'm always the positive. I try to always be positive and spin it to where it's like we can come out we can beat the system here. We can come back. But before we do Dom's plan, we got to do Chris's plan.
So
talk to me.
First thing I'm thinking is you have $110,000 in debt.
Yes.
Your husband has $20,000 in watches. Those are gone.
Immediately.
Sell them immediately and put that towards the debt. Mm-hmm. You have $35,000 in stocks. Now, I don't know what that means. Could those are in 401k? Are those in an IRA? Mm-hmm. Are they in qualified funds or are they in non-qualified funds? Mm-hmm. Because there's a difference what I'm going to recommend. If they're in qualified funds, like a 401k IRA, don't touch them because you're going to take a 10% penalty on them. Not really worth it. No. If they're in a brokerage account, then it might be worth selling to knock off that extra debt.
Yep.
Then the only reason I say that is because the interest rate you said is all high interest rates, personal loans and credit cards. So I'm assuming that the interest rates on those are somewhere between 20 and 30%, maybe to say 15 to 30% if he's not doing like premier credit cards. Mm-hmm. Your growth on your investment account, we're going to say on average grows 7 to 10%. So you're automatically losing there. But if it's in a qualified account, then we're not going to touch it because the penalty plus the loss isn't worth it. Moving in with your husbands or moving in with your parents for a little while, at this point, I think it's a good idea.
I like it.
I think it's a good idea. I don't know if you're working too. You said that your husband makes $5,000 a month. If you both put money towards it, can you guys get out of this
I would
faster?
assume she's working because there's daycare.
Yeah, because there's daycare included. Yeah. So can you put this even faster? And then can we also rent out the house? And if you don't want to do a long-term rental, can we do Airbnb? Can we do something with the house for a little while to make sure that it's making money? Because I would probably not recommend selling the house right now with interest rates being the way they are. And then if you try to get back into another house, it's going to be just a shit show.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
We're going to be making way too many things, but you guys can knock out this debt in a year with just your husband's $5,000 a month going to it. You can do that in 11 months.
Yeah.
Plus the 20,000 for the watches and the 35 for the stocks, given that they're in qualified funds. Mm-hmm. Another thing I want to touch on is that, so I think we have a way to get rid of this.
Okay.
And if you don't want to, if you still want to live in your house, then you're just going to have to start buckling down. Where can we save money? Can my husband take on an extra side hustle? Can he work a second job? This is his screw up. He better figure it out.
Yeah.
That, or are you willing to do that for him too? Are you both willing to take on second jobs? Mm-hmm. Or are you willing to cut? Are you willing to sell your purses, your jewelry, your stuff as well to help your husband out here?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Another thing I want to think about though is you also have $120,000 in student loans with a manageable 3.75, which is cool. Like that's totally fine. The thing that I'm concerned about though is that you said you have completely stopped paying them off in order to focus on building your financial reserves and contributing towards retirement. Mm-hmm. So does that mean that you are not making minimum payments on them? I need to know, are they federal loans or private loans? Because maybe you're going for like a debt forgiveness plan, but even for that, you still need to be making minimum payments.
Yeah.
If you fail to make the minimum payments, your 20-year clock resets.
Jinkies.
So there is no reason that you should forego saving for retirement in order just to pay off low interest debt, because at the end of the day, you'll have no debt and no investments. I'd rather have no debt and some investments.
Yeah.
So you can have a mix here, which you need to do. But it sounds like we're really prioritizing at this point. Like we have to pay off both my debt and my husband's debt before we can start doing anything now.
Absolutely. Yeah. You got to stay positive too.
Oh man. Yep.
That's all you can do.
You sure? Yeah. But you have to assess the full financial picture. I would say prioritize the highest interest debt first. So I would go with the debt avalanche approach. Create a budget and a debt repayment plan and stick to it. You have to utilize available resources. Like you said, your parents are willing to let you move in, and that's probably a good thing to go for right now. And then I would also rent out the property that you have currently in order to bring in some additional income to throw at this debt. A big thing you guys need to do is you need to start communicating openly and collaborate with your husband, because you not knowing that he put you in $110,000 of debt, I don't know what's going on with your guys' communication, but like
there can be improvements.
There can definitely be improvements, or he's just straight up hiding stuff from you, and that's financial infidelity.
Yeah.
And like, huge red flag.
Yeah.
Huge red flag.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you guys are navigating that, but that's very, very worrisome. Now consider the impact of like staying with this guy on your long-term goals. Yeah. If he's willing to put you in $110,000 of debt and not have it come out until the last minute, what else is he hiding?
He needs to work on himself for sure. For sure. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's solid advice.
Yeah, I would say just focus on your financial behaviors, seek professional advice. You can always reach out to me. I mean, I'm just going to tell you what I just told you right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no hacks to this. Like you have to buckle down and figure it out.
Absolutely. Yeah. But good luck from Arizona.
Good luck.
You know? Yeah. I think
send you love.
Send in love. Send in love. That's all we can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it for Pie Friday feedback.
This video podcast is sponsored by Monzon Wealth. The content in this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. We do not endorse specific products or services. Past performance does not guarantee future results. The opinions expressed are those of the hosts and guests, not the podcast sponsor.
It is crucial to consult with a qualified financial advisor or professional who can provide advice tailored to your specific needs before making any financial decisions, investments, or taking any other actions. If you are seeking specified help, you can reach out to Chris at monzonwealth.com.